whenever it starts to change, you go, hey, Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
Baha'u'llah
Hey,
Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
King of kings,
Hey,
King of kings
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
King of kings
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
King of kings
is my number one.
Prince of peace,
Hey,
Prince of peace
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Prince of peace
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say, is my number one.
Ancient of days,
Hey,
Ancient of days
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Ancient of days
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Ancient of days
is my number one.
Blessed beauty,
Hey,
blessed beauty
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
blessed beauty
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
blessed beauty
is my number one.
Baha'u'llah,
Hey,
Baha'u'llah
is my number one.
No matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah,
is my number one.
King of kings,
Hey,
King of kings,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
King of kings,
is my number one. What other people say, is my number one.
Prince of peace,
Hey,
Prince of peace,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Prince of peace,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Prince of peace,
is my number one.
Ancient of days,
Hey,
Ancient of days,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Ancient of days,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Ancient of days,
is my number one.
blessed beauty,
Hey,
blessed beauty,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
blessed beauty,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
blessed beauty,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
blessed beauty,
is my number one.
no matter
What other people say,
Baha'u'llah,
is my number